what we try to do is silo data so that if there is a breach, it's narrowed down to a specific section.
And I'll just throw in that the Department of Justice Computer Crime Division says that information that comes from within that's taken out is actually one of their biggest issues. And there was a case that they just spent the last 8 years prosecuting. They won last year, where an employee took a high-level employee, like a vice president, took all of the IP out of the company and gave it to a competing company in China that he then started working for, and they bankrupted this American company. And, you know, you hear about stuff like that all the time.
And also the passwords is a huge, huge issue. And especially it touched me because my daughter, who's sitting in the audience right now, she had a couple of her students in her class get her password, get onto her district email, and then disseminate an information from her account coming from her across the district. Okay, oh boy is right. And the districts and the education, this is going to be an epidemic, I would say, in the next couple of years, because these kids are learning how to hack. To Michael's point, they're going online, they're stealing passwords, there's no protocols or safety measures that they educate not only the faculty but the students how to protect their data. And my daughter was a victim, not only of cyberbullying, but a cyber attack regarding getting in through her passwords. So this is going to be a problem, not only in education and in schools, but in corporations and in your own companies.
Another one that you guys are probably familiar with, computer viruses. And oftentimes you're like, why are there viruses? They're not asking me for money. There doesn't seem to be any real intent. But I don't know if you remember when you were a teenager, there were teenagers that used to just put dog poop in a paper bag, ring a doorbell, and light it on fire. They just did it to be destructive. So there are hackers that don't have any real financial gain at stake, but just like seeing stuff burn. And it's not just not just you that you're risking, it's your vendors that you've got.
They put in a malware, and then,
it can spread, and they use what's called a botnet. So hackers will take control of your computer with a virus, and they will have hundreds, if not thousands, of computers that they have remote control over, spreading their virus, and it kind of it makes it more difficult to track who's actually the source of that. So there's these huge botnets, and it's simple computer viruses. So if, it's about having your.
Also, I guess to mine Bitcoin, don't they take over people's computers?
Yes.
Well,
cryptojacking is what it's called.
Crypto, right?
So they'll take your computer and use its resources, and let's say when you have paused to do something, they'll then use the computer resources to mine for Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other cryptocurrencies, and then send it to their account. So they're using your computer resources to make themselves more money.
And to answer your question, yes, the insurance would cover that if you have a verbose policy. That's a cybercrime.
Yeah, in the last one, a hacker attack is mentioning spoofing. I'm not sure if you've ever gotten an email from someone that looks like either your boss or yourself. There's been a recent string of emails that look like it's coming from you to yourself, and the hacker says, as you can see, I've got into your email, so you can't reply to this, and I have videos of you fondling yourself. They have other more salacious words, and I'm going to spread these videos because not only did I take control of your computer, I took control of your camera, and I saw what you were doing, and you were into some weird stuff, and I'm going to spread it to all your friends and family unless you give me Bitcoin, usually. And the more sophisticated versions will show that it's coming from your email address. And the way that they're able to do that is because your particular email settings in the background didn't have the appropriate safeguards in place. And I think about 50% of businesses don't have these particular safeguards in place in their email settings. So it allows for other people to email from your address, not from one that just looks like your email address, but it looks like it's coming exactly from your address. and it makes it look more authentic. So if you're emailing yourself or other people saying, hey, I need my, my bank wire information changed. We changed banks. Please send me money. We actually declined to take on a client that was in apparel that had sent out over $100,000 in the last 3 years to various hackers impersonating one of their vendors, a manufacturer in China, and they still refused, even after $100,000, to put the appropriate safeguards in place and wanted to bring us on. I was like, we don't want to be liable for your, willful ignorance. So spoofing is a huge problem, and if it looks like it's coming from someone you know, I would still verify whether it's calling them, emailing them back, texting them. You don't want to just assume that it is them, because spoofing is a huge issue. All right. And can you spot the fish? So phishing, is everyone here familiar with phishing? So phishing basically means that you are impersonating someone so that you can, usually for monetary gain, to make money, and saying, hey, I am this person and I need you to do this. And it looks like you're appropriating their email address or their identity and saying, you should trust me, I need your information. And usually it's to make money. So the ways that you can spot a fish are usually, and it's an easy acronym, FAKE. So feeling, they want to make you feel scared or that you're going to miss out on something. So for instance, during Black Friday, the hackers will go into overdrive and they'll say, we have these great discounts, you can't miss out on them, and you need to act now. Or with my previous example of, hey, we want to put the fear of God into you that your naked pictures are going to be all over the internet and your friends and family and all your contacts are going to see this. So they're trying to put fear into you. So that's the F. A is action. So it's a call to action of, hey, you need to click this link now, open this attachment now, change your password now. Otherwise, you're going to have some type of catastrophic loss. K is for knowing. They will impersonate someone that you know. So they'll reach out to your friends and family, impersonating your email address, impersonating your boss, a vendor. And then the last one is expect. So were you expecting this? A lot of times, one of the older tricks in the book is that UPS will say, we're delivering a package, but you need to open up this PDF. And that PDF is a malicious PDF that has a code in it that runs when you open it up, and it'll encrypt all your data. So it's, if you're not expecting an email from someone, or a package from someone, or an attachment from someone, or even from your bank, a lot of times Google will say, hey, or Microsoft recently, I don't know if anyone's using Office 365, but if you're not, a lot of businesses are using Office 365 to host their emails, their apps, what have you, and they're targeting them, and they're saying there was a breach and we need you to change your password. But oftentimes it's sending you to a phony link. So if any of these things are coming up, if it makes you scared or anxious or like you're missing out, or calls to action, or someone that you purports to know you or you're not expecting it, it's likely to be a fish. All right.
You can go through this.
Okay.
So the biggest, really quickly, I think we're running out of time, but the biggest question that people have, or clients, is that does my general liability, does my business insurance cover cyber? The answer is no, unless you have an endorsement that is added on to it, but they're not as robust as a separate policy that covers the cybercrime component.